Yeah, no, it's always a privilege to be named in the squad, and lucky enough to be available this series. I think it was kind of tough. I had a lot of conversations with Joe throughout the season. We finished quite late in the season in the top 14, and then it wasn't. Yeah, we spoke about having a rest during the July series, and then it was a bit up in the air about the rugby championship. But no, grateful to be here now and ready to rip in with the boys.
Well, can I ask you about your test careers? Looking back, I think you've only got 30 caps. Have you found it frustrating that you've had these long periods where you've been in that team, you're kind of hampered by red tape when you're probably always desperate to pull on the gold jersey?
Yeah, I think I don't really have any regrets. I left Australia in 2017 when the rules were what they were. I thought as a player developed a lot when I moved, especially to England, and then now in La Rochelle. I still feel like I've got a lot to grow and a lot to add, and I'm just happy to be back now, mate.
What does it mean to you to play for Australia? Like, you haven't done it for a while, so when you pull on the shirt again, how does it feel?
No, it means the world. Done it for a while. I played last year, so I had a few caps last year. But no, it's always when you're not involved and you're watching on TV, you always have that itch and you want to help as much as you can. And I think I've had an open dialogue with Joe this season, and we haven't had the results that we wanted. But I feel the team's building in the right direction, and I'm happy to add where I can and hopefully be involved. Yeah.
What do you think, particularly La Rochelle, maybe how has that changed your game? Like, obviously we've seen you lifting lots of trophies and everything like that, but how do you think it's expanded your game after Surrey?
I think I've learned how to play a bit differently. We speak a lot about different styles of play, but at La Rochelle we're very set piece dominated. The French rugby is very physical, it's confrontational as well, which I really enjoy. It's probably when I come into camp where the speed and that's where I got to catch up with the physical stuff. I back myself there. It's just trying to get the cause and the detail right. That's the big job for me. But in terms of playing for La Rochelle, I love playing there, and my form there hopefully warrants being selected here. So that's all that really I can control.
You say the team's moving in the right direction under Joe. Can you outline what areas do you think you're really tracking nicely over the last sort of 6 months or so?
So I haven't really been involved. Literally been here 2-3 days, and I can already see the attention to detail, the work rate, our collision work as well. That's what we're trying to pride ourselves on, especially this week against a class team who's ready for a response like England. So I think we'll be up for it, and it'll be a good test.
Question really for both of you guys. What kind of Australia team does Joe want you to be?
Well, for Jake, I think.
Look, I think it's not just Joe; it's the whole coaching staff. I think we've had growth around the fundamentals of the game. I think the way we've sort of developed and changed around the attacking breakdown and being able to hold the ball for longer phases. There's certain things that we need to make change around and obviously develop our game. We think there's a lot of work to be done there, but we feel like we're making changes in those sort of areas at the moment.
Does he want you to be kind of, in Ireland he was a very attention to detail, big kicking game, quite structured. Is that the way he wants you to go as well, or is he changing that to fit in with the players you've got?
No, I definitely wouldn't say structured. I think the coaching staff definitely want to change our habits around a few things, and they've really ramped that home, like really touched on our attention to detail around a lot of our sort of work has really ramped up, but there's not let's say a framework that we're restricted to. But yeah, there's definitely, I wouldn't say free license, but an awareness that we can take opportunity if it sort of opens up.
What was your impression of when you were watching the Wallabies from afar this summer against Wales in the Rugby Championship? What did you make of it? Did you see something there despite the results?
So
did you see something in there that they can improve on despite the results?
Yeah, for sure. Like I said before, the results weren't coming our way, but as Jake harped on about the fundamentals there, that builds throughout games, that that goes through those losses and taking those learnings throughout the season as well. So, no, definitely coming in, you get a raw feel for it, and you can see how much chat there is, the standards that are being set, and just to be involved again, it's I'm learning as much as I can as well, which is a positive.
Jake, could you talk just a little bit around the tinkering that we've had to the kicking game over the last few months, the DuPont law, I guess, the escort runners having to be a bit cleaner. Now, how does that change the way maybe you think during the game?
Yeah, I think the changing of escorting now gives a genuine collision, I wouldn't say collision, but a challenge in the air. What teams were doing previously were trying to, I'd say, impede, but sort of not give a free catch to the team catching. I think what you'll find is there'll be a lot of guys getting up for the aerial contest, and we think that's a genuine weapon of ours. We think we have some guys in the air who could get a lot of pill back for us. But yeah, I think it's probably a good one. It's the game's all about contested possessions. This is going to be a big one. Yeah. Interesting to see on the weekend how England and All Blacks did it too. So got a little bit of a look.
Does it change the range of your kicking a little bit? Are you going to offer a little bit more contestable rather than constantly pushing for territory?
Yeah, it changes a little bit depending on game plan. I do think I wouldn't be surprised if teams go to more contestable sort of focus now. Yeah, completely. But I think it's probably depending on the game, the conditions a little bit too.
Well, we just talk maybe a little bit about your motivation levels following the World Cup, and obviously in a disappointing fashion for the team and for you, the captain in that team. Coming back now, is there a sense of like you're really keen to have another crack?
Yeah, always. Obviously they're very disappointing how we finished up, and as captain it was tough. But I had time to reset, and actually when I got back, I got injured the World Cup, and I went back to my club and I got injured 3 times during the season. So that was a decision that we speaking to Joe, that made that decision a lot easier to have a rest in that July series and really fly into my club pre-season and get the body right. And speak about motivation, yeah, mate, it's always high. I was in I had constant conversations with Joe during the rugby champ, during the July series, bounced a lot off each other in order to see where this group's going, and if I was still keen to be involved, and mate, that motivation will never sort of whimper, mate. It's always there to play for Australia.
Did you discuss captaincy?
Nah, none of that stuff. I think with a new team and a new coach, he's got his own. He's got his own process with that, and we never really spoke about that. But I think just having experienced guys within the squad helps the group overall, and I'm just here really to add as much value as I can.